Okay, okay. Let's do this. I'm ready. You're ready. Let's get
Yeah, let's
this.
do it.
Let's get this done so I can go get real food. I was gonna get dinner and then they released Koregra. I'm like, why would they do this to me on a Friday night? And it's a Saturday their time. It's because they needed to get it out. Funny note, by the way. One of the things that I realized while going through this, all of
All right.
the images in this Koregra are numbered, except that some of them break pattern because they had to be re-uploaded and they say re at the end.
I see.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Granblue Radio, number 239. We had 238 and a half on Monday. This is another weird scheduling thing because this is going to happen on a Friday because, among other things, they didn't release Koregra until now, and I wanted to have Koregra available to go through. And
And
so
here we are.
here we are. So introductions. I'm Vibrating Sheep. I run Granblue underscore en. This is DJ on the call with me as always, who
Hi.
is here to bounce ideas off of and keep the pace going and also just correct me when I'm wrong, which happens a lot. So let's start. So there was a whole lot that happened on that summer stream. Uh, let's go down Choreogra one item at a time. All right. So swimsuit Shalem is coming in the next Choreogra. What do you think about the design?
It looks all right. Yeah, I expected it from them.
Them being side games?
Amazing!
I mean, Shalem.
It's true. Thank you, Usapions, for the follow. Anyway, yeah, it is Shalem. This time there isn't like a bunch of melted chocolate dripping off of her, so you know that's something. Yeah, Kawahara actually tweeted, it's like, yeah, because I mean, like, this is a what is it? He said this is a swimsuit that covers very little, and yet it just looks downright normal compared to her Valentine's outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks. Like they've been dialing down the horny a little bit in summer for this one, so that's something. That's that again. That's only for this particular set. Then you think back to Summer Cumbia, and you're like, oh, that dialed up the horny back up. Never mind.
Also, look at EX poses.
I I do appreciate them a great deal, which is funny to me because it's like I saw a post on Reddit that called the Chloe EX pose, the bonus pose, understated, and it's her like bent over in like booty shorts and a tank top or a crop top. And I'm like, that is understated for side games, isn't it?
I mean, look what they did to some other characters for the bonus poses. Anyways,
All right, let's keep going. So here's Summer Shiva, and Summer Shiva makes me laugh because like I saw a lot of people like jokingly mad that there's a piece of cloth that covers his armpit because armpit Shiva is like super powerful in regular Shiva form.
look, I want she would be water and cast ice like Final Fantasy does.
Shiva doesn't have to be fire. It's just that fire is associated with destruction. So there you go. It's easy. All right. So here's the thing that actually surprised me. So have you taken a good look at the Mandrake, summer Mandrake art?
Oh, I pointed it out when it first came out.
So I recognize is that Sylphid Bell? No, it's not Sylphid Bell. The little mushroom summon. It's
Just look up NER or something, and you'll probably find it really fast.
like this is just for all of the little summons that you've seen a billion times since the beginning of this game.
Like there's the mushroom girl in the back too.
Yeah, and
There's
then the cephalopod girl
yeah,
with the snail head. Anyway, and then Crawler. Isn't that Crawler in the background too?
probably. I can't see it on my resolution right now.
Hmm.
It was easier on the stream.
Right. But yeah, they're coming. I'm going to laugh if they make Summer Mandrake some kind of like super memey thing, like our weapon drop right up or something silly. All right. We've already seen Tabina. We've already seen Zalhamalina.
You're
Uh,
talking about that on the point 5 episode.
yeah, we looked at the bonus poses.
No, we didn't.
We looked at this bonus pose actually. So the Siegfried bonus pose is especially funny to me, not just because it got like the most interactions on Twitter when we posted that one. Um, Do you remember when the Granblue Fantasy Extra Works, like the with all the designs for Siegfried, came out, and how people
I,
were met? Well, go ahead.
I was say I have a lot of those, so I have to look deep into which ones are which
So there's
at this
one with
point.
the thing is that there was a design for Siegfried that people looked at, and this is a standard thing when you see what you could have gotten but didn't, and you go, I wanted this instead, or I just wanted this, I want this too. So there was one of pose of Siegfried like lying down by a pool, and his yukata was hanging open, and people were just like, I wanted this. Why isn't this what we have? And now we have something extremely similar. So there you go. You got it. We have it.
We did it.
Yeah. Yeah. The quote retweets for Siegfried's bonus pose were extra horny. It was pretty funny. This is the Chloe one that we mentioned, where it's like this is relatively understated for Cygames horny because
Look, I just want another Chloe.
she's a fun character. She whenever she shows up in like a Fate episode, it's just fun. And then here's you
You just
eating.
have a teenage girl in a fantasy setting.
Just I mean, do you remember when they had like the city-based Granblue Fantasy merchandise, and uh, there was what I think it was Sendai, which is where Date Masamune is from, one of those places, where it had Eugen and Lunalu because they have eye patches and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
I remember
and
that.
how the characters to represent Tokyo were Luane and Chloe because they're basically just Tokyo residents put into a fantasy world.
Oh yeah, it's okay. I've seen instances of having a normal teenager, quote unquote normal teenager in a side games game.
Which normal teenager are you thinking about?
Dragalia, the character has a cell phone and attacks with it. It's a Lance character.
Sure. I was trying to think of who in Princess Connect counts as normal, but they're all pretty just. I mean, they're all modern characters anyway, so we're gonna move on. So DJ, as a fine connoisseur of Diantha art, where do you rank this one?
I want more. That's my ranking. My ranking doesn't matter.
Of course. So I'm gonna scroll down a lot in this one to point something out, and so something that I missed the first time around was that on the upcoming Dragon Knight single, which is November 3rd, that's things coming. Here it is. They actually are going to be singing a cover of the idol song Kimi to Boku no Mirai.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that'll be fun. And so that just has me thinking it's like, all right, so the Dragon Knights are now the second group who get their second single because I'm not counting Lyria, she appears on everything. But after the Teen Shalotl, the Dragon Knights now have their second one.
Hmm.
Do you think that they're going to be bringing back Shalotl and having them cover something?
What would they cover?
Would it be Soya?
No.
Why not? That would
Have you seen the title of that song?
there would have to be five gallant braves. It's fine.
Anyways,
Actually, I would probably have them cover like the dose. That would be fun.
maybe on the ballad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
But anyway, uh, we'll see what happens. The next single doesn't come out until next year, so we'll find out then.
Well, here's the other thing, Dom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we have Ono Yuki singing that song already. Kimito Boku no Riai.
Do we?
Yeah, everyone sings it. Remember?
Oh yeah, that was the ending song for everybody who was on stage at the night party last year.
Yeah.
All right, next up, uh, Frau outfit. Uh,
Released during the stream.
that was an insta buy for me as soon as I was done.
Yeah,
Um,
while you were still busy, I actually grabbed the video for you.
Thank you. And the Lobelia outfit.
I'm mad that he T poses on you.
He really does. It's big JoJo's energy on that one.
Have you actually read the description for the outfits too?
I haven't.
Oh, hold on, let me bring up Lobelia's real quick.
Okay, because I don't own that one right now.
All right, here it is. Don't be fooled by his smile. Lobelia's twisted desires do not cease to exist just because he's on vacation. And for your sanity's sake, don't forget to cover your ears. After all, there's no telling what sounds his conquest? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Might make.
Yeah, and the thing is that the actual line that comes with his homepage thing actually involves a good like full minute of a woman screaming. So, um, content warning. It's Lobelia
Yeah,
things.
he's not a good person.
He's really not a good person. Frau kind of tries to be a good person. It's not explored too much, but she's kind of past being a good person. I'm waiting for more story on that one.
Yeah, maybe she'll find a friend. Anyways,
But yeah, this one's so pretty. This one's mega horny. This one's just so pretty. She's just sitting there in the rain talking about rain and just being sad.
let's see here. Her description is this beautiful blossom seems to glisten in the rain,
Hmm.
despite being bathed in melancholy. The strength permeating through the swimsuit she wears will be undermined by no one, even as she sits on the brink between breaking clouds and the wild surging sea.
Yeah, the thing I like about this outfit is that they learned from the Nier outfit, and either they learned or they just did something different. Because I really don't like Nier's pose. I only use
Oh,
that thing.
the back pose.
Yeah, she just looks lost. I've said this before, and Frau is actually just standing there like normal. Yeah, speaking of the Nier outfit and the Al-Anon outfit, they're back on sale. I'm gonna keep going. So, um, the character that you talked about, the
Woo!
one of the characters that you complained about when Athena got her on Cap. It's like, why did this character need it when these characters exist? Well, she's getting it. And so a funny thing about the Hellas Uncap is that along with the Hellas Uncap, they're doing a an update to Hellas's spear. It's unrelated in most ways. Um, they're taking off the when you're in overdrive part of it to have the MC's multi attack go up. And so she's been one of those outdated characters to refer to overdrive for the longest time without having an update. So I feel them coming up with a different way around that to
I
make it.
mean, you typically, like I said, during one of these 5 stars from story, they usually change the character at the same time, and then give them 5 star.
Hmm. So here's hoping. Like as a fire spear character, we have defense, we have offense, and we have skill damage pretty well covered. So I wonder how she'll fit in.
Hopefully, she fits in.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next, we have the Eternals Transcendence completing. So this has been a 8-month phased rollout. We now have 9 and 10, and I'm just gonna zoom in on this because I still find it funny. Like all of these characters going like gangster style with twin pistols. People really focused on like Andre with the double gats. We've got like uh there's 6 with guns in the back there. Thief Thief with like 2 guns.
Why did you give it to you, Thief?
Thief, what happened to you, my sweet little child?
I feel like it's every time we have Thief with a weapon. To be
It
honest.
really is. Like, what do you have there, Thief? A knife.
Oh
No.
no!
I mean, the harp at least works. There she is, right there. The one who looks out of place with the harp is 8. Anyway,
Yeah. And so, anyways, so for uncapping though,
so for the uncapping, so this is the part that some people we know, I mean, the two of us have done it already. But they are making it a requirement for any one of the Eternals to get to 140. You have to have all 10 Eternals at 5-star already. That's a prerequisite. And so this is now pretty much the most expensive prerequisite in the game.
how many gold bricks would that be?
20 minimum.
Yeah,
So,
that's a lot.
and so um, there is some grumbling. Like people who are this invested are just going to end up doing it over time and just putting like a schedule and a roadmap on it. But like, given that you've already invested 3 gold bricks in a one Eternal to go this far, what if you just only want those like 1 to 3 Eternals, and you haven't really, invested in some of the other Eternals? Like that's a steep cost. Like all of those. I'm not even talking about the gold bricks anymore. I'm just talking about flawed prisms, DJ. It's so many flawed prisms. It's so expensive.
Yeah, well, you know the price you're paying sometimes.
Yeah, well, at least we're going in with eyes open a couple weeks in advance, so people know what to do in the upcoming Unite and Fight and such.
We also, yeah, because of that, some people actually don't have their prerequisites for that eternal they want.
Hmm. And then the 141 to 150 is, um, you just have to have made it to 140, and there will be a new unique treasure. So who knows? Who knows what the treasure will come from? I don't know. It'll be expensive.
I mean, considering that our current one, we only had technically only two sources to get from. One of them is United Fights,
Hmm.
and the other one is a serial code from the recent thing.
Hmm. True.
So yeah, it's gonna be expensive probably.
Yeah.
Source of where it's coming from? Yeah, I don't know either. Let's find out. Let's find out in a couple weeks.
Hmm.
Not a couple weeks, a week.
Oh my God! It's just a week away now.
Today's 13th.
Today's the
This
14th in
thing comes,
Japan.
and this comes out on the 20th.
All right, so we talked a bit about the Rise of the Beast change. Like, I'm done with it already. It's earlier than before. I didn't really feel like I got rewarded for doing this one, but oh well, it'll go there for next time.
I know, there was no new rewards that you could get.
Exactly, but it's okay. I'm at peace with this now.
It's a catch up thing. It's
It's
literally a catch up
Yep,
thing.
it lets you catch up. All right, so this is speaking of catch up. So on the 23rd of this month, we have our second Xeno Ifrit in the 5-star Xeno weapons era. So we already have the Xeno Ifrit axe at 5 stars, and we use that. Well, I don't know about you, but I use that for hit points, and I still occasionally use it as a main hand weapon. And so before some other events get their 5-star Xeno weapon at all, Xeno Ifrit is getting a 5-star katana, and they're getting the AX skill added to it. Um, they do address this in Koregra, and they say that the last Saravar will not get a 5-star up uncap as the second Earth Xeno weapon until every element has at least one 5-star. But do you still use the katana at all for Xeno? Will you use it if it goes 5-star?
I think the last time I used it was as an offhand for its CA, but I don't even remember.
That's fair. And I do wonder how they're going to differentiate it from the Xeno Ifrit axe, because adding HP gave it a niche. I have no idea what else. I have no idea what they'll do with the katana. Hopefully they'll do something interesting, because when they released the katana in the first place, people were just like, it has more attack. I guess I'll slot it in.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. Well,
Well,
it still exists. I still have it somewhere.
Melissa reminds us that it's there because of Shion.
Yes, that's a very good. That's a very good point.
That's fair.
Shion's
That's
a very
fair.
good character.
But I mean, that's not because of something that it has in its own skills. It's just because it exists, is not awful, and is a katana. All right. Next up, we have the Unite and Fight. It's going to be wind enemies, fire stuff, so that's why they're running Xeno, Ifrit before that.
So you're gonna M&A? Is that what you're gonna tell me?
For lazy mode, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
bust out a bunch of Dragon Knights for effort mode. Either that, or I will surprise ticket Shion. We'll see. We're gonna keep moving. We already know about Wayfaring Astral or whatever it's called, and we already saw the Animus thing. We've talked about the Agonize. We've talked about the Faceless. We're gonna move on.
I have
So
one agonized so far. I'm happy.
I have one note Faceless so far. I'm actually concentrating on Columbus during this the rest of this campaign.
Fair enough.
The Animus thing will happen on its own time. Does that mean there's no proving grounds for fire before then? Um, no, probably not. There's no proving grounds for fire. All right. Alchemist Astray is coming back. So is Divergent Knighthoods. Neat. Um, with Divergent Knighthoods coming out in September, and then the Dragon Knights single in November, then we're getting another Dragon Knights event probably in one of those 2 months. Okay, we usually get it
What?
around
There's a
those 2 months
Dragon Knight
anyway.
event?
One every year. Let's keep going.
What? That's crazy.
All right. So Replicard Sandbox. By the end of the year is what they're estimating. They've talked about this on two streams now. They talked about it on the anniversary stream and on summer stream. So they've given us some details on what's going to happen. So 4 new areas to explore, 12 new
So that's
weapons,
12 8 areas then?
total of 8 areas. So right now they're up to what? The letter, let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So it'll be I, J, K, L areas for them. New Saphira guidebooks, new pages on the base book. The part that gives me the big one fear is new uncaps for the New World Foundation weapons. On the plus side, having new missions will give us New World quartz, so it'll be less of a bottleneck there.
Because currently our current bottleneck is get it from United Fights.
Yes.
Some people need to catch up on their United Fights and spend it on something else.
Mm-hmm. So they better have more missions that give us New World quartz. I think they will, but still, we're gonna need a lot.
Well,
We're gonna need a lot. And then this is the part that's funny to me. So they're creeping this up another tier. I don't mean this in the in terms of power creep. I just mean like chronological time. So the Primal series is getting bonus skills now, which is going to be a huge buff to things like Oberon and Ekesax, which are still viable weapons to this day. Let's see here. So the Nalaku Kuvara from Nezha is still used in OTK grids.
yeah, it's a one-of.
It's a one-of, so it'll just get a little bit better. Let's see here. I'm really, really curious about what'll happen with the Artemis bow.
Oh, I forgot that's in this.
The
Yeah,
Artemis
let's
bow is going to be
go.
really interesting because it was already on the verge of being good. It's just there was not much enmity to play with in light, and you got rewarded more for just going full stamina and crit. My old friend Cortana, I don't think is making a comeback.
I don't think it's coming back.
I don't,
Phantasmus though.
Phantasmus is in the next series up, so Phantasmus isn't around yet.
Oh.
It's unfortunately. Let's see here. And then the last one on that list is Earth, and Earth's was the Perseus, and Perseus is actually a really good weapon. So
Yeah,
that'll
people
be
still
getting
got
better.
in.
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, the 4 main ones and light might actually get a big boost from this. I'm really curious to see what people come up with for the Bow of Artemis. I'm really curious.
Well, yeah, what happens happens. If you'll just get it a drop and move on.
Yeah,
That's how it feels like in Repcard Sandbox in the first place.
yeah, that's true. All right, so here's the biggest change, though. So we've talked about how packed a summon grid is these days, and they're addressing that in a way that we should probably talk about each element and how it affects that element. So, what they're going to be giving us in whenever this goes live, starting at rank 101, two sub slots for summons. And as a sub slot, it doesn't give stats, it cannot be called, but um, it gives its sub aura. So, for example, in the screenshot, it has Gabriel. Gabriel will be giving cap up to water allies.
Let's ignore that part for a sec. Okay,
Yeah,
because they're using a dark team.
just don't worry about it. It's just it's a mock up. Um,
Death though.
so all right, you want to start with dark? We'll start with dark.
Yeah, might
Uh,
as well.
so death. You either summon death on the first turn or you don't summon it at all. Basically,
Killing it for if you're trying to kill someone, that's fine on your own team. If
S
you don't, then it's a useless summon.
you haven't heard me shout this for like a year or so, but every time we used to do raids, and
I
like,
accidentally killed used death. I remember that.
well, I didn't accidentally. I used accidentally used death like one or two times. The more often you would hear like there would be a premium summon to try and cross,
And the only thing you can summon is death.
and I'm just like, "Ugh! No, please. Um, yeah. So a lot of people are calling this the dedicated Belial slot because Belial is also a summon you never truly want to summon, except in really, really, really specific situations, like trying to overchain with Sandalphon.
So the thing is,
hmm
Belial works in every element, so it doesn't matter. We're not talking about Belial.
Yeah, we'll just say that Belial. We're gonna mention it to say that it's there for when you don't need hit points. But when it comes to Dark, okay, so Dark's hit point summon, it doesn't have an Arcarum hit point summon. It only has Zernitra,
Which is a good summon.
which is a good summon, so that's not going to affect it. Sariel stays
Is a good summon.
in front. So the secondary spot for Dark is probably going to be one of the utility ones, like what Halmal for 5% double attack, or like put
Grand Order.
yeah, I was gonna
Actually,
say
except Grand Order is a good summon, so never mind.
right. And it's
Wait,
like
Hellmouth's also a pretty good summon one time use.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what we put here.
So we put Death in one of them sometimes, and then if you have a 4-star Kaguya, you might as well put it there for your 10% XP.
I guess.
Yeah, Melissa's already been talking about the experience points. So it's like
Oh yeah.
as dark, I guess you just stash death there when you're not using death, and then Belial in the Belial slot. But like, I guess for long-term fights where you're not going to just keep spamming Zernitra summon, but it's like in V2, summoning Zernitra is amazing because it gives you an extra hit for hit omens.
I think I found another sub summon,
Jarl
and it's
Athotep.
only yeah, and it only works if you have crests.
And the thing is that like it only works if you have crests. You won't have the summon call available to give you crests. So I mean, think about dark crests. Who are the dark crest characters that you actually care about using?
I kind of care about a Forte, kind of. Anyways,
Yeah, all right. So for dark, this is actually going to be kind of a rough one, in my
oh,
opinion.
I found an answer, and it's only if you use Ronco. The gold pina.
Let's go, Gold Pina. God.
Anyways, moving on.
All right. Moving on to light. Light actually has a whole bunch of summons that you don't necessarily want to summon. Like, there's a lot of cases. I actually don't bother summoning the star a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the star can go there. The HP summon is Artemis. Artemis has the exact same pluses and minuses for being in there that they have. But yeah, so Heimdallr is a really good summon to have in sub when you're playing a light crest team, and light's very good at crest teams.
Yeah, I
So
could do it by itself. Yeah.
so yeah, I mean
Uh,
light has good
Heim
spots for
Heim
this.
Heimdallr is also kind of a good summon to summon though.
What does it do on summon?
At 4-star, you get meter 60% light attack up.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah,
But
no, that's
I mean,
crest summons are good. Crest summons are too good to be honest.
this is the whole thing, right? They started feeling like they had to make the summons that good on summon in order to justify a spot over like all of these like passive effects that you were getting, right?
Yeah,
Because like we've only covered the ones that have one Arcarum summon only and no HP summon. Let's move on. Like,
technically, light does have a different HP summon that's free.
which one's that?
His name's Sandalphon.
Yeah, does he do that as sub?
Sub 10% boost to HP. It doesn't work if you have Artemis, by the way.
Sure, but I mean, at least it's free, and that's something to keep in mind if you don't have Artemis. That's free hit point. It's free hit points, DJ. So that's good. All right, we're gonna skip Earth for a while because that was like the most brutally crowded summon grid in the game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move to Fire instead. So Fire, Michael's a really good summon unless you're doing like short-term stuff. So I can see moving Michael there. Red
That's
hair.
context based.
Red hair is never the summon you use for HP, so that's staying in the grid if you're using it. The Devil, however, can 100% move into this slot.
Nope, not as Prow player.
You want to have red heat or whatever it's called.
Red heat on command.
I mean that's fair. That's fair. But for people who aren't pulling out Frau from the back line or from wherever, then um, I can see putting the Devil back there just for free hit points. I'm never moving Sun to this position.
Sun's the most broken summon.
I am never ever moving that to this position. And so for Fire, it's just like, I guess Willness can go there if you don't need
Yeah.
supplemental damage.
Well, it's also Rollins isn't he also a one-time use?
Is Willness a one-time use?
I forget. Nope, he is not. Never
I was gonna
mind.
say, like, I don't remember that being part of it. But if you're doing supplemental damage things, then Willness stays out front. And if you're not, and if you just want the skill stuff, then you can feel free to put it in the back.
I feel like everything's context based pretty much.
But I mean, it gives you a lot more to design around. You don't just have to feel like you slap all of these things in there, and then you're like, where do I fit this utility Typhon? Where do I fit this utility Thor? Thor has stopped being a summon in the past like 2 years.
Can we make his summon resummonable so I can have more turns of 50% chaser? Please.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have a maxed out one, and I'm like, I don't even use it.
Yeah. Um. All right, moving on to water. I'm so Justice may or may not go into that slot.
Context based. Once
Context
again,
based.
love these context based because sometimes you kind of want to even out your HPs.
And you need the heal. Yeah. The moon 100% goes in this slot.
The moon sucks.
I hate that summon so
the
much.
The current character doesn't even use the mechanic because like you just let it happen. You don't have to force
You
it.
actively make the mechanic worse by summoning it.
Also
Because
true.
it resets the duration back to the weak version. You're like, why?
The buff the moon sucks.
Mm-hmm.
If you extend it, it sucks even worse.
I hate this so much as a dedicated Fiora player. I hate it. But yeah, when
our current creature's good, so
when Wham Disc comes out, we can put it there. Long G can go there because water has so many ways to generate its own crests, which are good. So let's see, Wham Disc I would put there. Gabriel, if I don't need the debuff or the damage cut, can totally go there. Charybdis is because Justice exists. Charybdis will only ever be summoned for the Chaser, so she stays in front.
What water likes chasers? Hello, Poseidon.
Yeah, yeah. All right, moving on from that one. Um, the next one would be wind. Uh,
All right, I have my joke answer for this one.
are you gonna say Alcat
No, I'm gonna say Muku.
for playing Gachapin?
40% boost normal, dude. Gotch Fiend's attack. Let's go.
Bravo, bravo! You are ready for this one. You are ready to troll. All right, all right. You know what? Yeah, you do that. You do you, man. You do you. But it's like, all right. So wind has Owlcat, which is the worst of all of these summons in terms of its like its sub effect is just going to be hit points in an element that has temperance. The um the call itself doesn't give chaser to all of your characters. It gives it to two characters for 2 turns, and you're like, oh, but I wanted this on everybody. Why can't I have what they have? So
Alcat.
Yeah,
That's one.
Owlcat stays banished. Um, let's see,
Yeah,
temperance.
it's really weird because everyone's is 30% bonus damage, 60% DH, 40% TA to everybody,
Hmm.
and then now gets here is like, no, I'm gonna be different and worse.
It's the and worse that gets me. All right.
Like if they like double the numbers, maybe it'd be better.
Hmm.
But even then, you still kind of just want to spread it out.
Yeah. Let's see. What other wind summons? So temperance can go there because temperance is so unstable as a summon. The restrain effect is just like if it works, you're on cloud nine and things are broken. And if it doesn't work, you're like, oh,
You know what else causes restrain?
Astariola.
Yeah,
And also, it's like the same kind of effect as summoning Raphael. And the thing is, if you're a Magna player, then the Raphael summon giving you mirror image, you're just like, why is this necessary?
I have more mirror image. Obviously, I need this.
So
Well,
Raphael,
along with my Tiamats.
yeah, Raphael can go into sub. Temperance can go into sub. Judgment, depending on content, can also go into sub. I know some people who do solos that like cycle judgments to get characters going.
I'm still trying to figure out that one time where I had judgment to the character and they stayed out for the rest of the game, but
Wasn't
they
that
were
Lena?
considered dead. Yeah,
That
it was
was
the Lena
Lena.
one. I showed you
Amazing.
that screen cap. I'm like, she's just been alive for the past 3 turns.
Thanks. She's a tree. It's fine. She died once and she got better.
Yeah,
So
and
wind is
in Game
gonna
Earth.
yeah, wind is gonna be a really good place for this. And then we get to Earth, which as I mentioned is like the single most brutal battlefield for these things because Earth already has Galleon. So if you're using a supplemental damage team, you'll keep Galleon in front. If you're using a supplemental damage team that also uses chasers, you're keeping Mammoth in front. Um,
Let's
the
be honest, chasers are good on every team pretty much.
yeah, Hanged Man situationally gets put back there, but Hanged Man is also an insanely good summon because it's
Let me just
clarity.
clear off.
It's clarity that doesn't get skill sealed, and it's also a bunch of really good buffs that you get at random.
Yeah,
So I don't know about that one. The tower 100% goes into this because screw the tower.
but the tower's amazing.
I mean, it's actually good, but I'd rather have something that does something other than just damage on a delay.
But the damage is big.
I'm putting Tsuchinoko in my Earth grids
You also
now.
get 20% defense when you're towering.
You know what else gives me a bunch of defense? Existing as an Earth player.
Yeah, but you have more existing.
I'm gonna let's move on. Move on. Like, yeah. So, all right. So I get to move. I get to move the tower into back. I can probably like try and slot Tsuchinoko. I don't have a gorilla of my own to do any of this stuff with. Um, but gorilla was always for the call, so don't worry about that
Like,
one.
Gorilla
Man,
has a aura.
that's true actually. Gorilla doesn't have a sub aura. I just consider gorilla to have a to be a spot when I take a friend gorilla.
Yeah, it has a main aura.
Yeah.
Only.
Tsuchinoko. We can put Tsuchinoko in these spots to get money, DJ.
You mentioned that, or you mentioned Tsushinoko
No,
already.
I mean I'm talking about the sub slot. I actually like it as a main grid slot as a spell that just fills you up on meter, and it treasure hunts. Woo! But anyway, um, yeah, Mammoth stays in. Let's see. So Mammoth stays in front. We mentioned that. Um, who are we missing from all of these like sub-subbins? Uriel
Uriel's
probably
too
stays in
good.
front.
He's too good. Let me just give you buffs and 30 meter. Why not?
So here's who's fighting then. So we've got Uriel, we've got Galleon, we've got Mammoth. Sometimes we have a sub gorilla to if you're taking a gorilla in order to keep gorilla buff up for longer. That's four already. Hanged Man can now go in the back. Tower goes in the back for hard content. If you're doing just supplemental things, there's like 8 summons at any given time that you want to pack as an Earth player.
To be fair, the sub-summons of HP don't stack together,
Yeah, so Mammoth stays in front.
and then you don't put the tower anywhere. You just keep it out.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, well, I guess that's what makes sense then. You just kick out the tower until such a time that Lobelia's whatever weapon the tower is asks for the towering buff on your main character.
Then we put the Tsuchinoko in the back. Let's go.
Let's go 5,000, 50,000 rupees.
Maybe. We have to find it first.
Dom, you're going back to Earth? No! Let's keep going. So here's something that's interesting. So they're doing a quick summon slot. So you pick a summon in your grid. It does not allow you to pick a friend summon. And it's a one button summon. So instead of going, you have to click once to expand, you click again to select, and then you click again to summon. That's a 3-click process. And now there'll be a quick summon button to shortcut it. So for example, there's a very this example is pretty subtle, but unlike the Celeste with the Celeste with Gabriel selection, this is incredibly relevant. Because do you actually recognize what summon that is from this little sliver right here?
I'm just gonna guess Bonito.
That is in fact Benito right there.
Yeah.
So one click Benito is actually incredibly relevant for convenience, quality of life, and just fast farming. So
Hey,
that's
look, here it's in your main slot.
yeah. Um, but you can set it to other things too. You can just hit like one click, say the sun in a fire team, one click death in a dark team.
Oh, I can't wait to accidentally click that.
Oh God, maybe not. Maybe. Well, here's the thing: it's set party by party. So if you're doing a near-death experience, then you can set death to that button, and then you're not there for a long time. You're there for a good time. Um, and if you're there for a long time and you still have death in that grid because you're using it for some reason once in the fight only, then you can just set it to something else. You can set it to summon Hades for meter or something. Yeah, one click sun, one click like mammoth, etc., etc. So this is going to be a good one when it comes out. It's going to involve a lot of fiddling around, but I mean, DJ, do you actually use the CA on, CA off button very often?
I use it when I accidentally click on someone's portrait
This is
in battle.
that's true. That's going to be annoying to have to re-turn off people's CAs manually by tapping their faces, but
Also, yeah, anytime I get a new character.
this is savings. This is savings. This is time savings that I enjoy. Speaking of time savings, so we talked about this with the flawed prism gate. They're giving us Angel Halo skip tickets in one way. It runs 10 at a time. It guarantees one dimension Halo and gives you 10 times the drops, 10 times the experience, blah blah blah. It's only once a day. Um, so they're making it easier, they're making it faster. Well, actually, they're not making it that much faster. They're making it easier. But if you really want to grind that Angel Halo out, then you will still have to do it the manual way after the first 10 that you get with one click.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Look, some people actually stated it before. Sometimes I just don't do Angel Halo.
Yeah, that's true. So this makes it easier. It's like how people stopped doing hards for the island bosses. It's like, you know what? Say we've proven that we can beat this. This is trivial content. Just make it faster. Thank you. So
And
one
they did.
click. Yay. So it's nice. It's not skip ticket levels of just like throwing stuff away. But we've talked about this before, where the difference between Princess Connect skip tickets and giving Granblue players skip tickets is, which is that in Granblue stamina is infinite.
In Princess Connect, you have to pay money for your stamina,
At a certain point, you actually have to pay currency for your stamina. So that's a huge difference.
and it increases every time, after every 3 times.
Well, to a maximum of 100 crystals per, but still, that's so many.
100 crystals is a lot. That's way less. That's way less than that's only a little bit less than a roll.
Yeah, another thing that actually came up in chat, which I agree with. This makes the do 50 special quests way faster.
You know, there are actually sometimes I forget to do that weekly.
Yeah, I sometimes don't do that weekly because it's just so tedious. I've done it the last couple times because we have the campaign exclusive quest going right now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't like that one. That's my least favorite one now. Now that upgrade something 10 times individually has been just upgrade something 10 levels.
doesn't have the skill levels, just levels.
Yeah. Yay.
Ooh.
Speaking of yay, this is something that we've complained about for a very long time. They're bringing the V2 Omen UI to the rest of the game. So when something has full dots, it'll tell you what it's about to do. Do
Oh,
you?
thank God, Lucy's gonna be easier to
Yes,
coordinate.
exactly. We will no longer
Paradise
have to.
Lost.
It's
Which
like,
one is this one?
which Paradise Lost is this? Which Axion is this? Like, do you remember how big that freaking flowchart is for what action is Lucilius about to do?
I bring it up every time.
Yeah, it's like wings are alive, and they're above a certain percentage, and Lucy is in overdrive or not. Oh God, no! I'm done talking about this. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
so
good change.
they actually announced that it's gonna be for all battles.
Yes. So they're saying that for normal battles, just like in V2, then they will have omen. They will basically have omens. They won't be breakable, but it will let you know what's happening.
That's and you can just click on it and go.
You
See
can.
what see if you're gonna die or not.
Yes, I'm so happy for this. I mean, it's a lot of back end work. So even though it's like it seems simple, when we get down to the weapons, it'll be one of those things where it's like, there's so much text in this game, DJ. There's so much.
Yeah.
And this is going to add a whole lot of it too, because like there'll be text that no one will see. Like, do you actually know what Griffin does when it has full dots? I don't. I think it just
I think it's
attacks.
stat points.
All right. Anyway, when this comes out, I will welcome it with open arms. This one's an experimental thing here. So this is here to sort of this is the resort island, and my theory is that this is here to scratch two itches. One, so this is a crew-wide thing, and your crew will have a quote-unquote resort island, and you will build on it, and those buildings will have an effect on adding skill, like in battle crew skills to your teams. Now, the number one need that I think that they're trying to go for is, do you remember way back when we had makeup and go and people
Make
like,
them go.
yeah, and it's like, so this is the customizable base that people have been asking for, because KMR at the time said we need to make sure that when we do this, it does the following things. One, it doesn't feel like a tedious, you have to go there and collect something thing.
I
That
mean, I
you
already do that in both Dragalia and Princess Connect.
and Cinderella Girls, yeah. Like there, you just go to the base, you pick up your stuff, and then you leave. Um, and so they want it. they wanted it to be worth the work on their end, because I mean the sheer amount of animation effort that goes into, say, the Cinderella Girls or the Princess Connect ones. Like, the Princess Connect base has robots that can get up and walk around it.
Cinderella girls, you can have robots running in the background.
Yeah, you can have robots fighting in the background for Code Geass. Like, that's a lot of effort, and for GBF, it would be something that they needed to justify in that same way without doing, like, insane amounts of tedium for it. Making like investing a ton of artwork into stuff that never gets used. So that's one thing. The second thing is, when's the last time you actually looked at what crew skills there are other than the big four or the big three even?
There's dumbbells. Those are cool.
Do you know what the dumbbells do?
EXP.
Was it EXP? Okay, what is the thing for rank points?
I don't remember.
Yeah, see, like there's so many of these like unused crew skills. So, it's like we have elemental attack for during Unite and Fight. We have the drop rate green potions and charge meter, which everybody has. They're just like required to play at this point. And then some during off times we use RP and EXP. And then we have never bothered to buy any of these other parts. So the
Like, there are
elemental
more
attack
parts you can buy.
upgrade boosts. 5% boost to EXP for fire upgrade proficiency. Fire upgrades. It's like, what?
Huh.
These are
All right.
useless.
I found out something today.
Yeah. And so this is another way to get those in, because they've never added more because they know that people won't use them. Because the only ones that matter are the big three, and then either elemental attack, which adds onto the boat, elemental attack, and then XP and RP. There's never been a need for anything else.
But yeah, there's a lot of games, even side games, like we mentioned, that have the My Room feature.
Mm-hmm. But this is crew wide, so it's a
Yeah,
it's a
like you still
collective thing too.
customize your own things.
Yes. Um, and yeah, the thing is that this adds battle like crew skills to battles and stuff like that, and so that'll be a way of them to get more crew skills in there, in a way that doesn't just clog up the ship. So take all the time you need for this one.
Yeah, I just wonder which like type of implementation they're doing, because the other games that's easy. That's how you get like a lot of extra stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Dragalia, that's where you get a big chunk of certain stats too, for characters, for elements, etc.
Yeah, I do wonder what the actual effects that you'll get from this are going to be. So we'll find out when it gets
We
here.
get there.
Yeah, there's no date on this. This is really early in development, so see you in 2022, Resort Island. All right, this is actually for this year. This is something that they announced on the roadmap. The buff to previous classes. So, there will be job-specific level upgrade levels. So, on most of these levels, you'll get stat buffs that'll be based on the class. Stuff like how you get hit points and attack on Berserker, etc. So that's cool. The recolored job classes that they originally had scheduled for an ill-fated outfit gacha, they're just gonna go here. So you can get recolors now. You can recolor your MC once you get
I
level
get
10
player
of this.
2 MC. Let's go.
Yeah. Level 20, you get a new support ability.
Oh, that's always good.
Level 30, you upgrade skill 1. And there are so many classes where their skill 1, you're just like, why does this exist still?
Like a heal, because my heal does not heal enough.
Warlock.
Yes, with the other class skill that got nerfed.
Yeah, bounce.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's one of them that comes up as a really bad skill one. Um,
Doesn't Air Ring do more damage too?
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of the other ones that like need the most desperate help. um, Nighthounds is kind of bleh, but it's not like awful.
It works with its weapon.
Class champion weapon. The new class champion weapons are coming, but they're not part of this part of the roadmap. Um, let's see. Sage skill one is good, but could use a lot of help with modern hit point totals.
Modern hit by totals and the fact that everyone heals better than you.
Oh yeah, Apsaris and Necromancer skill ones. Good lord.
Wait, and Necromancer has a skill 1? I just looked at auto,
Yeah, you just hit attack with Necromancer.
and you get a nice chaser.
hmm Like Rising Forces has a job to do. Like Elysians has a job to do. Like a lot of these skill ones have a job to do. Like Chaos Rulers is one of the best skill ones in the game.
What if
Okay.
they buff Elysian skill 1 and works with daggers?
I
Yeah.
don't know if that would help that much because most of the harps are broken anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is I'm looking forward to seeing this when it comes out. I'll see what they had to do to make certain classes that have fallen out of favor something that is more interesting, like Nighthound, Apsaris, um, a few things like that. So that'll be cool. Sorry, I'm just laughing at. Let's see. I'm looking up what Fukuhara called it. So the name in testing is Super Ultimate Bahamut, and this is note that this is a temporary name. It's not going to be the final name unless the fan base latches onto it so hard that they're just like, okay, we have to name it this.
I mean, my joke is the third Bahamut name, not final.
hmm yeah, thanks Bang Dream. But I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes the fan base does latch onto a beta or alpha or pre-alpha name so hard that they just keep it. Like Untitled Goose Game. Fandom liked that name so much they just left it as Untitled Goose Game.
That's pretty good. A pretty good game.
So I hear. Um, so the Fukuhara name for it is Super Ultimate Miracle Hyper Dash Bahamut V2 Assault Buster Eternal.
We are not calling it that. We're shorthanding this somewhere.
Super Ultimate Bahamut Sub SUB. Um, so new high difficulty raid. It's gonna be V2. Yay. This is something that we've talked about for years now. So Bahamut weapons and Ultima weapons will be getting their modern upgrade. Yay! Like
Skill level 20 Bahamut weapons?
having them do something other than just add HP and multi attack for the really bad Bahamut weapons. Multi attack on Ultima weapons is it's one of those things that people no longer need in modern design. So they're just like, we don't need this anymore. So I'm excited to see what
Yeah,
they do to it.
I haven't used the ultimate weapon in a long time.
Yeah. Um, and then like, what was I going to say? It was the Bahamut weapons, Ultima weapons. Like what they did with the Dark Opuses. Like remember how boring we talked about having stamina on everything was, and now like we see all sorts of really interesting and creative stuff with um, the falsehood chain, the so yeah, it was what it was the chaser chain. It's the chain where if you're at low health, your character's nuke at the end of the turn. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff that people are doing with these, and they're being pretty creative. So I hope that they do something like that to these weapons, just making them interesting and less vanilla. And yeah, anyway, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
See what happens.
hmm If Bahamut can't shoot his legs like rockets and get a new pair of legs, he can't be V2 Buster. Thanks, Gundam fans. Coming in um, late September for Star Premium. They're taking out some of the least liked Star Premium bonus items, which are the 5 Silver Centrums, because I have, what, 500 now? That's
I literally was fighting Anima Animus earlier and got 5.
yeah. Astaroth anima are no longer in there, and
I
Ultima
need
units
those.
are no longer in there.
I don't need those.
The next thing is it'll add 10 meteorites, which is useful. I use those. Um, 5 Bubs wings, like Bub swords, the abyssal wing.
Ah, okay.
5 blue sea eggs, tears of the apocalypse. Those are useful. Because I just keep changing my opus around. Um, and then 2 awakening orbs. So that's the next place that they're going to. Cool. The big prizes remain the same. It's these 3 right here. Uh, Damascus and the sunlight stone. All right. Here's the big meat. Here's the lots of stuff coming. Um, more so slight buffs to superlative weapons to make them work as intended, and also a lot of really niche weapon skills are getting the mysterious weapon, like the Ronco treatment, where it's like, you know what, you're too complicated to code around. We're making you simpler. So, all right, number 1, Freikugel, the 100 gold moon gun, which was used for a while. It's used less. It used to only give double attack against break. It'll now give triple attack also. Yay, good. Before, and then at its 4-star, 4-star, 5-star. Is it 5 stars?
150.
At 4-star skill, the TA on break. It used to be bugged and it was not guaranteed because if you had minus TA on you, then sometimes you would not triple attack. Well, they're
Ah,
changing that to work as intended. So even if you have TA down, then you'll triple attack. Yay! Um,
yeah.
Pretty minor thing for Crykugel. Sky Piercer, which is one of the most used of these. The only thing they do is the exact same change that Freikugel had, which is if you had TA down on you, sometimes you would not triple attack. Well, now you always triple attack.
Bug fixes.
Bug fix. Mjolnir, considered the worst superlative weapon for a very long time. First of all, it only gave you crit on normal attacks. Now it gives you crit on everything. So it'll automatically crit for you on. Well, not. Yeah. It'll automatically crit for you on skills, on CAs, and those are the 2 forms of damage in this game. I guess counters. Counters are their own thing too.
Oh, yeah.
So that's nice. It just makes it less bad. Here's the big thing. So it used to give you personally
And only you.
30% cap up on crits. It now goes down to 20%, but also applies to the rest of your team. That's really good.
Pretty nice.
Is it
I'll
worth
still hate missing 20% of the time, but
is it worth having a Mjolnir main hand? We'll find out. I don't know how many Mjolnir owners there are, but I'm sure they'll be putting out videos when this changes on the 20th.
the only ones I've seen that aren't main handing it, they use it in the sub slot because it has Solaire, and
God.
they're trying to do one a Highlander grid.
So, as a Gaybolg owner DJ, I will let you talk about Gaybolg. So
Abelk sucks.
it's getting the same change that Mjolnir is, where instead of 30% cap up to crit for yourself, it's 20% to team. Go.
That's cool and all. You still have to main hand this thing. That's my TED talk.
When Apsaris gets a better skill one, maybe it'll. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm not gonna even try.
It's I've already said this on record many times that spear class main hands aren't that very good in this day and age.
Yeah, yeah. All right, then
And
Excalibur.
also it's
Mhm,
only the 200% skill, not 200%, 200 level 200 skill is more crit.
mhm. All right, so Excalibur is a main hand. Uh, the CA damage up used to be 150%. which would just slammed you screaming into the cap and then stayed there. So they're just lowering it down to 120%, which is unnoticeable. And then the noticeable part is now you'll get 1 million supplemental damage on your CAs when it's your main hand.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, and then at level 2, it had 200% damage, which would hit you even further, screaming straight into the damage cap. And given how hard damage scales after the damage cap, it would give you a couple hundred damage of difference, maybe. So
Yeah,
yeah,
hey, cap up.
and supplemental. The cap up is already there on the upgraded skill. That stays unchanged, but yeah, supplemental. That's good.
I mean, have you seen the main hand Ogi on it
It's a shield, isn't it?
on Excalibur?
Yeah, I thought it was a shield.
No,
Is it a heal?
I don't know why this is here. According to Wiki, it's a 5 turn, 50% superior damage elements, bonus damage.
Oh, it gives you chaser. Wait, oh, it does heal you at 4 stars. Okay,
Yeah, 5,000.
got it. So it does heal you. Because I know that was what people used for certain solos, just because it healed your MC for so much. All right, Crab Grab, also known as the Crab Club in Japanese, which is an axe. I had it in my files as Crab Staff. So anyway, um, it got the same change as Mjolnir. It used to give only your attacks, your normal attacks. It would force you to single attack and they would crit. So now it affects all things. Yay. God of 1,000 Demons.
You still can't multi attack, is right?
This is a trophy weapon anyway. It's there for killing 9,999 crabs. If you have this weapon, you know exactly what you're getting into, and you're using it as a skin.
Things I learned is that there are 6 different CAs.
Do they affect anything, or is it one of those
No, it's just
random
different
buffs?
crabs.
Oh, okay.
They're just different crabs that fall.
I see. So the God of 1,000 Demons used to refer to overdrive when saying crit. Um, it doesn't say overdrive anymore. It just says crit to your main character. So there's a bunch of these that
All
no
right.
longer refer to overdrive. The Bravery also referred to overdrive for crit. It's a Vermament, so you had to buy the Granblue's manga to get it, I think. It's a nothing change, but the fact that they changed it like this basically means that I think it was also to just clean up code in the back end. And they're just like, this is an outlier. Instead of just coding for this outlier, let's just change how it works. We have that privilege. DJ, as someone who works back end tech, I do have to tell you a fun story. It's
All
fun
right.
for us and not fun for the people involved. So for Magic the Gathering, and Magic the Gathering has some of the most infamously complicated rules ever in a video game or any game ever. The developers for it, for certain cards, if whenever a bug would come up for that card, they would have a copy of the card on hand, and for every bug that came up for it, they would stick a pin through it just to express how much they hated it. And so for some especially difficult cards to program,
All right.
they just looked like pin cushions by the end. They were just like, I hate this card so much. I hate it so much. And that's what I expect these really niche weapons to be, where it's like, why won't this overdrive thing work? And they're just like, screw it, we're changing how it works. Magic cards, you can't change how they work. That's the rules is the rules.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. The gold slime bell. It has the same kind of change. It had a 150% CA damage up, based on your hit points thing on it, and it was run you screaming into the cap. But you also had 10% CA cap up. Now it's 20%. Okay.
Okay.
The cat's tail from the Many Lives of Cats no longer refers to when you are debuffed, not debuffed to have dodge up. Okay. Lewin no longer refers to overdrive. The compact automatic pistol no longer refers to overdrive. Luna's friend used to give you attack based on how many allies were KO'd. They said, screw it. It gives you skill cap up now.
Darn, we removed our Shadowverse flavor.
It's okay. Luna herself still kills your own characters for profit. Then here's the Vernstrument, the seven Vern sword, the Vern Star sword. They used to give 3% light damage cut, and now they will give 3% light damage reduction. So this is actually a change that has happened to SRs once before, DJ.
What was the other instance?
SR summons used to give a certain amount of damage cut to an element,
I totally
and
forgot about that.
they changed that many years ago because people were abusing it to get permanent 100% damage cut. So they changed it to damage reduction so you wouldn't get that. So that's one of these things here. It's damage reduction instead of damage cut. That's it. That's what they changed for weapons. Most of it, like I said, most of it is like back-end bug fixes at this point.
Yeah, but they needed to happen eventually.
Yeah. Some of them were actually buffs, especially the superlative weapons, the ones that aren't Skypiercer. But I don't think it's enough for Freikugel to come roaring back into beating Ulikumi for racing stuff. The Excalibur is nice though. I actually think that the Excalibur got a lot better.
I'm just still mad at the third skill for Gable.
What's the third skill in Gaebulg again?
Medium Verity.
Oh, right. Yeah. The the
Your
Amino also.
MC, your MC auto crits.
Yeah. The Amino also got Trium, DJ. I'm right there with you. All right. Uh, let's go. Keep going. We're almost to the end, DJ. We're almost to the end. These campaigns we've already seen. Yay. The money's been given out. Summer Fortune cards. Blaze Blue Dark War is getting Jita. Cool. We got 3,000 crystals out of it. Yay.
Thanks, Blaze Blue.
Thanks, Maury.
Look, they forgot to bring his sunglasses again, so they had to put this in, I guess. Remember that last time?
Yeah. All right, DJ. Top of your head. No time to think aloud. What collab do you want for October?
Thailand Saga.
That's what I was going to say too.
Okay.
So I'm going to my second. I'm going to my second choice, which is Lupin the Third. But we won't know until everything's announced. We'll see you in 2 months. We'll see you in 2 months collab event. We don't know what you're going to be. That is it. We did it.
Hey man, hold on. They added Vera.
Here's Vera in Granblue Fantasy Versus. You're
Yeah.
super empowered.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is it for the news portion of the stream. Next week we'll be talking about the what is it? The stats, because we love going over those stats. There were a couple of fun ones, like the caloric value of unused Unite and Fight meat.
Ugh. There's so much.
That was so much. That was so many calories. But yeah, until then, and we'll probably be a little bit delayed on doing radio next week as well. I'm out on Thursday, so thanks for joining me, everybody. Thanks for joining me, DJ. Thanks for being here on Monday and Friday instead of just the Thursday hour that I take up for you. This was a 90-minute one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
All right. Sorry, everybody, but as I said before, the quiet days are over. This is
Don't you love Koregra after their stream?
Koregra after the stream, where they don't tell us which day it comes out. So every day at 8 p.m. Pacific time, I'm just checking my phone. It's like, did it come out? Did it come out? Didn't come out.
Came out today.
Came out today. Saturday in Japan. They actually released something on a Saturday. They usually don't do that.
Look, they have to finish up somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Anyway, so thanks for joining me, everybody.